Rich people avoid this behavior. There is a behavior that quietly destroys more wealth than bad investments ever could. It looks normal, it feels harmless. Most people do it every day without thinking, but those who build real wealth learn to avoid it early, not because they are smarter, not because they are lucky, but because they understand what this behavior really costs. And once you see it clearly, you will never look at your daily decisions the same way again. That's the problem. The behavior is simple: reacting emotionally to money, spending emotionally, investing emotionally, panicking emotionally, comparing emotionally. Most financial struggles are not math problems, they are emotional patterns. When someone feels stressed, they spend to feel relief. When someone feels insecure, they upgrade to feel important. When markets fall, they panic and sell. When friends succeed, they rush to keep up. None of these decisions feel irrational in the moment. They feel justified, but emotional money decisions create unstable outcomes. And instability is the opposite of wealth. Fight emotional spending. Let's begin with spending. After a difficult week, you reward yourself. After receiving good news, you celebrate. After feeling behind in life, you buy something that signals progress. The brain connects spending with relief. This creates a loop. Stress, spend, temporary relief. Repeat. Over time, spending becomes regulation. Instead of solving the real source of stress, you purchase distraction. Rich people understand something critical. If you need to spend to feel stable, you are not stable. They separate emotion from transaction. They pause, they think, they delay, because they know every emotional purchase has a silent cost: lost opportunity. Emotional investing. Now let's look at investing. When markets rise quickly, fear of missing out appears. People rush in. When markets fall sharply, fear of loss appears. People rush out. Both actions are emotional. Both destroy long-term returns. Wealth is built through consistency, not reaction. Rich individuals do not chase excitement. They design systems. Automatic investing, diversified portfolios, long-term strategies. They remove daily emotion from financial decisions. Because emotion fluctuates, but systems compound. The average person tries to time the market. The disciplined person times their habits. Emotional comparison. There is another behavior that quietly erodes wealth: comparison. Scrolling through images of success, watching peers upgrade lifestyles, measuring progress against others. Comparison creates urgency. Urgency creates rushed decisions. You take on car payments you don't need. You move into apartments that stretch your income. You pursue careers for status instead of alignment. It feels like ambition, but often it is insecurity disguised as motivation. Rich people avoid comparison not because they are immune to it, but because they understand its cost. Comparison inflates lifestyle. Inflated lifestyle reduces margin. Reduced margin eliminates freedom. And freedom is the real goal. The psychology behind it. Why do so many people struggle with emotional money behavior? Money signals competence. Money signals status. Money signals safety. When identity feels threatened, spending feels protective. When status feels low, upgrading feels empowering. When uncertainty rises, control feels urgent, so people react. But wealth is rarely built through reaction. It is built through restraint. Restraint does not feel powerful in the moment, but it builds power over time. The illusion of control. Emotional decisions often create the illusion of control. Selling during a downturn feels like taking action. Buying during hype feels like seizing opportunity. Upgrading lifestyle feels like progressing. But real control is quieter. It is the ability to sit still, to delay gratification, to endure short-term discomfort for long-term gain. Rich people are not emotionless. They simply do not allow temporary feelings to dictate permanent decisions. The cost of reactivity. Every emotional financial decision has 3 hidden costs. 1. Opportunity cost. 2. Time cost. 3. Psychological cost. Opportunity cost. Money spent impulsively cannot be invested. Time cost. Emotional mistakes require years to correct. Psychological cost. Regret weakens confidence. Repeated regret leads to avoidance. Avoidance prevents growth. This is how small emotional habits turn into long-term financial stagnation. Not because of one catastrophic decision, but because of hundreds of small reactive ones. Wealth is rarely destroyed in one dramatic moment. It erodes quietly through repeated emotional responses. The shift. So what do wealthy individuals do differently? They create distance between emotion and action. When they want to buy something expensive, they wait. When markets panic, They review their long-term plan instead of headlines. When income increases, they increase investment rates before lifestyle. They design friction, a 24-hour rule before large purchases, automatic transfers to investment accounts, predefined asset allocation. This reduces emotional interference. The goal is not perfection. The goal is fewer reactive decisions. Emotional awareness. The most powerful shift is awareness. Next time you feel the urge to spend, pause and ask, what am I feeling right now? Stress, insecurity, excitement, fear, name it. Because when you name the emotion, you weaken its control. Money decisions should solve financial problems, not emotional discomfort. This single awareness can change your trajectory. Then stability over stimulation. Most people chase stimulation. Market excitement, lifestyle upgrades, visible success. Rich people chase stability. Predictable growth, controlled expenses, sustainable systems. Stability is not exciting, but it compounds. Stimulation is exciting, but it fades. The behavior rich people avoid is not laziness. It is emotional reactivity, a hard truth. You can earn a high income and still struggle financially. You can be intelligent and still sabotage progress, because income does not override psychology. If emotions drive your money decisions, wealth remains fragile. But if discipline drives your money decisions, wealth becomes structural. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming intentional. Practical application. Here are 3 quiet practices. First, automate investments so decisions are not daily. Second, create a waiting period for non-essential purchases. Third, reduce exposure to environments that trigger comparison. These are small shifts, but repeated consistently, they change outcomes dramatically. Financial maturity is not visible, but it is powerful. Long-term thinking. Imagine your life 10 years from now. Not the car, not the apartment, but your freedom, your options, your ability to choose work instead of needing it. That freedom is built today, in small, unemotional decisions. Rich people avoid reactive behavior because they understand something simple. Emotion is temporary, but financial consequences are not. If you recognize emotional patterns in your own money decisions, that is not a reason for guilt. It is a reason for clarity. Wealth is less about earning more, and more about reacting less. If you want more calm, thoughtful conversations about money psychology and long-term wealth habits, subscribe and continue learning. Because real financial growth begins internally, and the strongest portfolios are built on disciplined behavior, quietly, patiently, intentionally,